This is True Transformative Fitness, and welcome to my psychological workout. Why I call this a psychological workout is because I just finished running about 3.5 miles in the sweltering heat. It was 84 degrees. It was very grueling, so I know I emptied my glycogen reserves, and so I said, you know what? Let me take it up another level. So I decided. I said, you know what? Let me go 6 rounds with this floor to ceiling ball with no rest. So what you about to witness is me actually going 6 rounds after running 3.5 rounds. I'm sorry, after running 3.5 miles. So I'm pushing my body to the limit. So we're gonna go 6 rounds, no rest in between the rounds, non-stop. All right. So basically I'm throwing punches the whole time and I'm moving the whole time. All right. So if you notice in the beginning, um, I'm picking my shots. I'm not making contact with the ball. I'm missing, I'm missing hooks, straights. But as the rounds go on, you'll see that I'm gonna start making more and more connection, mixing my shots, and this is basically a cardiovascular rinser, right? So this rinse my whole cardiovascular system out. I'm gonna read the data to you from both workouts. Actually, I'm gonna read the electronic data that I had, so you can see exactly from the electronic world, the exhaustion I'm putting myself through. But again, there's a method to the madness. So my whole goal is, of course, not in getting. I mean, of course, to get in better shape, but I want to get as lean as ripped as possible. That's my goal. I know. I mean, I've been in tremendous shape numerous times in my life, but I want to up it up to another level. So, I've upped my cardiovascular work tremendously. I've scaled back the weight resistance. I'm still hitting the weights. We're still doing resistance training, but it's been reduced to maybe 3 to 4 times a week. So, we're basically focusing on different methodologies of boxing, running, jumping rope, rope flow, things of that nature. And, we mixing in some functional training, all that. So, by the time I release my next posing video, you're going to see significant change within my physique. All right. So you see, I'm still trying to keep my form, hands up, making connection with the ball, moving my head movement, foot movement, and I'm warming up because if you can see, I'm even moving a little quicker now. You know, in these sessions, we're not going full throttle. Okay. Okay. We're building neurological connections to where if you move 60, 70, 80% of speed, by the time you really get to real work, it's going to be your hands and movement is just going to be that much more quicker. So you got to move slow first before you can move really, really fast. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this workout was very taxing. I'm actually I recorded the videos yesterday. However, this is the next day, and I'm sore from my toes all the way up to my earlobes. Okay. All right. So I'm about to bark off some of the data. I'm pulling it up now as I'm still working. All right. So here we go. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. Yesterday, we ran 3.5 miles. We burnt 450 calories. Right. It took me a total of 36 minutes, 36 minutes and 23 seconds to cover that distance. My average heart rate was 158 beats per minute, and I had a high heart rate of 179 beats, and I was in zone 5 for a total of 11 minutes, and I was in zone 4 for a total of 12 minutes and 15 seconds, and the rest is zone 1, 2, and 3. All right, so that was the run. So now this boxing workout that you're witnessing right now, okay, we went 6 rounds. It was a total of a little over 19 minutes and 40 something seconds. Okay. Uh, Total calories burnt 243. Average heart rate 160 beats per minute. And I had a heart rate high of 177 beats. So if you add all this data together between both workouts, you see that I shocked my body. Even though I don't do 2 workouts like that in a day, but I just wanted to shock my body into adaptation from a cardiovascular standpoint on this particular day, and it worked because I feel it. And why I say I feel it is because I'm really, really hungry, right? Even though I haven't eaten breakfast yet, so I'm letting that sit in, so I know that I'm digging up into that body fat. Well, which I have little of, but the little bit of body fat I do have, we digging up in it. All right, so I'm probably not going to eat anything until 12 noon, and on top of that, I probably will get another workout in today. I probably do some weightlifting with dumbbells, so we can hit that bilateral, uh, hit our body bilaterally with the dumbbells, so we can keep that weak side getting stronger, so it can keep up with the strong side. All right, so you see, I'm still working the head. I'm sorry, the floor to ceiling ball, mixing my shots up, always starting with the jab, keeping my hands up. And mind you, I'm fatigued. Okay, I'm like super tired. I read off the data to you from the running and from this session period. So I'm working. I'm literally working through fatigue, even though it doesn't look like it. I'm just making sure my hands are moving the whole time. People can criticize, all that. That's fine. But won't you jump into the arena? When you jump into the arena and you try to go 6 rounds of moving your hands and feet without stopping the whole time, it's a very difficult feat to pull off. You know what I mean? And I guarantee the average person to tap out after probably the second round, because boxing is a very, very, very taxing endeavor, because you're working everything. You're moving in every different plane of motion that you can think about that the human body can move in. And then furthermore, I like it because it tests your will. You testing yourself psychologically. You know, your mind wants you to stop, and you're overriding that. You keep going. You know what I mean? Awesome David Goggins type shit. So yeah, I'm still moving. Uh, you know, if you've been paying attention, that ball has not sat still not one time. It's moving the whole time, you know. And I'm showing you this. I'm showing you this to not only try to help motivate people, but to show that you can push yourself. You know what I mean? You know, again, people need to understand that the mind quits before the body does. Let me repeat that. The mind quits before the body does. If you override your mind and say no, you're going to keep doing this, the body's going to execute it. You know what I mean? The body's going to execute it. You just have to step in that. You have to step in that deep part of the waters to experience that. But when you do, and you push that, you get all kinds of growth, physical growth, mental growth. Um, Things that used to be hard will seem easier. You know, yeah. So I'm heating up, still moving this ball, right? Still moving it, trying to keep my pace, trying to keep my timing on. Just working. And trust me, my mind was trying to work against me within this workout. Okay. Okay. Weak thoughts start creeping into my mind. Oh, instead of 6 rounds, let's do 4. we're doing the work. We already did 3.5 miles, right? Nah, we're gonna stick to the game plan. Stick to the game plan. Because I have to hold myself accountable. And I'm not gonna, if I set a goal and I purposely fall short of that, it's going to mess with my mind more so than this workout. Okay. All right. And the benefit of it is that, to be honest with you, since I got it in so hard yesterday, I could really take the day off today for real. But I'm not. Long as I feel as though I'm able to complete a workout and get out of the workout without being injured, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right. And see, every workout doesn't have to be a marathon. What I mean by that, it doesn't have to be an hour long. It doesn't have to be um uh it doesn't have to be sometimes it could just be 15 minutes, long as the intensity is there. If the intensity is there, you're golden every time. I mean, really the timing is just an affirmation, because you know if your intensity is high, the workout timing has to be dumbed down. Those people who are working an hour, 2 hours, or what so have you, their intensity is moderate, if not low. That's the only reason why you can pull off a long marathon workout like that, regardless if you're doing cardiovascular or resistance training. Yeah. So I'm still working through each round. And what I did was I set the rounds, but I set no timing in between the rounds. Okay. So, after 3 minutes is up, these each are 3 minute rounds. So when the 3 minutes is up, the bell rings into the next round in my ear. Okay. Non-stop action, keeping that heart rate up. And as I mentioned before, when the fitter you get, the lower your resting heart rate is, meaning that your heart isn't working hard at all when you're just chilling, because you're in better conditioning. So, for instance, you're going from 70 beats per minute resting heart rate to 55. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. And then you actually feel it. So I'm still working hard, making sure I keep that ball moving the whole time. And again, sometimes when you are fatigued, your form will fall off at times. But I'm still keeping it tight and right at the moment, from in my personal opinion. Burning serious calories. And if you notice, I'm not standing in one spot. We moving around in a circle, right? Even though I'm in one spot right now, getting in the zone. But head movement, moving in circles, moving from right to left. You got to practice all these things, so it's a seamless thing if you ever got to really throw them hands up. Still working it, still working it. Um, Again, I like the floor to ceiling ball because you can't just wail on it. You have to be respectful with your punches. You have to master time and distance, movement, because that ball moves super quick. Uh, and also, the more time you spend with it, uh, you become more. It never gets easy. It never gets easy, but you build a familiarity. Look at me, I'm getting tongue tied. You get familiar with the object, basically. You build new neurological connections, because again, when you do things repetitively, you ultimately get better, especially if you're serious about what you're doing and you're consistent. You don't let too much time go between your sessions and whatever it is that you're trying to master. So we winding down. I don't even know what round we are at right now, but I'm just going by timing at the moment. And I still, if you notice, my energy level hasn't fallen off. I'm keeping the same pace, because again, you can't just start off 100%. You're not gonna last. Yeah, you're not gonna last the whole workout doing it like that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're not holding back either. So you have to train yourself actually to utilize the energy reserves to stay consistent and keep moving. So you're constantly working through fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers. And mind you, again, boxing, whether you're hitting a heavy bag or a focus ball or anything like that, it works your mind. Okay. Like nothing else. Like if you're on a treadmill, you're not working your mind. You're like on a hamster wheel. But your eyes got to be locked on the target, and you're starving off brain deteriorating diseases. And again, like I said, I sound like a broken record. If you all know what a record is, I know because I'm 46 and I grew up in that era where we had actual record players. But anyway, it starves off brain deteriorating diseases like dementia, Alzheimer's. You know what I mean? Stuff, it's going to keep you independent for life where you won't need a caretaker. You know what I mean? You be able to take care of yourself for life and just be independent. Don't have to be at a mercy of a nursing home or, whatever. You know, all you got to do is put in the work. And I'm gonna put out as many. I got, like I said, well over 200 videos, and I could do this forever, which I am. Like I told y'all before, we gonna grow old and fit together, man. I'm gonna be an old man making these videos for you all. You know, motivate my peers, those above and below my age range, because not to sound cliche, I promise you, age ain't nothing but a number if you're taking good care of yourself. You know what I mean? You'll keep the body, mind, spirit, everything youthful. You know, yes, life is full of stress, but this kind of training prepares you to be mentally fit for those kind of challenges, psychological, social, uh problems with the heart, problems with the love department. That's what I mean, not actual heart, but you'll get over those things, right? So we've done, it's over with. Hope you enjoyed it. And that's that work. Like I say, come get some. That's right.